So, hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Runde Genshin Impact. Wir machen da weiter, wo wir das letzte Mal aufgehört haben, nämlich mit dem Wettbewerb um den Wiederaufbau des Yada-Gemachs, wo wir uns das letzte Mal mit der Opernkünstlerin Yunjin und der Piratin Beidou zusammengeschlossen haben, damit wir alle die ersten 3 Plätze erreichen, um einen Wunsch von Lady Ningguang zu bekommen.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something forged?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wunderkerne.
Of course I have. Sorry, who's asking?
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past, for stage use.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon. Sorry, my brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. Everyone's heard of you, Miss Yoon, even folks who don't make it to the opera all that often. Like myself. So, you're here to ask about Wunderkores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ningguang back when she was building the original Jade Chamber. The types of ore needed to make Wunderkores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need 2 kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium.
Noch nie
If I
gehört.
remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions. It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, that's trickier. It's all but unheard of on the market.
Wie sollen wir es dann finden?
I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint the location of the stuff. Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter Iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Subrosium.
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of devastation also takes place on that mountain. I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there.
Dann auf geht's, würde ich mal sagen. So, da sind wir auch schon. Oh, das war ein Seli. Ich habe hier generell noch nicht viel gemacht, fällt mir gerade ein.
I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic towering peaks and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride. Indeed, this looks like a place that one might expect to be frequented by Adepti.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place. What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Cool. A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite.
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
What a nasty piece of work! Ugh. Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place!
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. They had no choice but to give in to the monster's demand. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
No! Don't do it, little girl!
Paimon ist richtig hooked
Unbeknownst
bei
to
der
anybody
Story
else,
einfach.
she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster, from which she eventually emerged as the victor. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world. And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
I really like this story,
Erinnert mich sehr an Shenhe ein bisschen.
but I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the divine damsel.
I think it's a great story. The ideal story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! Yeah!
Die Motivation ist da auf jeden Fall. So. Oh mal, ja, das sind hier nur die Geosiege. Ah, ne. Ich dachte kurz, vielleicht oben? Muss man ein bisschen gucken. Ja, ich glaube wirklich oben. Und hier unten? Ich werde mal kurz hoch. Auf jeden Fall total coole Geschichte. Ich habe gesagt, erinnert mich sehr an Shenhe. Und ich kann mich auch noch sehr gut an das Ende erinnern. Ich liebe das Ende. Oh. Das war tatsächlich mehr aus Versehen. Ach, da drüben ist das nächste. Cool. So.
This should be enough Star Splinter Iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
I think I saw a village on our way here. Master Zhong said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
Gott. Ich dachte, ich lande auf dem Hausdach. So. Das sieht sehr heruntergekommen aus, das Dorf.
Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't seem to catch that.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
Okay. Geht's ihm gut?
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Guess we're on our own here. Shenhua, Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's
Okay.
okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's
Shenhe.
Shinha.
You're alive. The rumors were true. So, all these years? I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium, but I think you can find some information in the village. This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhua?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjun has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe.
Okay.
Sie kennt sich
Then
ja
let's
aus.
see what we can find in this village.
Gut, dann sehen wir uns mal um. So, dann schauen wir mal. Da leuchtet doch schon was. Oh je. Protokoll zum Dorf.
Remains of a
und so.
god.
Ich bin noch
An
nicht fertig.
abandoned village, Mount Tianheng. Does this mean that the true story of the divine damsel of devastation happened right here, in this
Ich lasse den
village?
Text einfach mal
The
kurz.
time frame certainly matches, so it seems we're in the right area. Let's keep looking around.
Gut, dann mache ich das aus, damit ich vorlesen kann.
Hip.
Habe ich nicht gerade 2 Leuchtdinger gesehen? Oh, wahrscheinlich. Eine Kiste. Nehme ich gerne.
A reward on the road.
What's this?
So. Zerrissene Aufzeichnung. Der Arzt hat gesagt, du seist schwer krank. Mach dir keine Sorgen. Ich werde alles geben, was ich habe, um dich zu retten. Mein Herz tut weh, wenn ich sehe, wie du immer erschöpfter wirst und deine Krankheit nicht mehr zu behandeln ist. Wie sehr wünschte ich, ich könnte den Schmerz für dich ertragen. Du hast gesagt, dass du in diesem Leben nichts bereust und dass du dir wünschst, dass ich mich gut um Shenhe kümmere. Aber wenn du nichts bereust, warum die Tränen? Ich weiß nicht, was ich in letzter Zeit getan habe. Obwohl ich noch atme, fühle ich mich komplett ausgelaugt. Ich habe alle alten Texte gelesen, die ich in die Finger bekommen konnte, um nach Wegen zu suchen, dich zu retten. Aber es ist völlig sinnlos. Endlich habe ich es gefunden. Es war Mingyun. Er hatte das Buch, das dich retten konnte, versteckt gehalten. Ich nahm es und folgte der Anweisung, um einen Gott zu beschwören und ein Opfer darzubringen. Der Gott erschien. Ich sagte ihm, dass ich bereit sei, mein Leben gegen deines zu tauschen. Er schwieg und zeigte nur auf unsere Tochter, Shenhe. Der Gott sagte, ihr Schicksal sei es, den Fluch des Unheils zu tragen und dass sie dazu neige, denen, die ihr nahestehen, Schaden zuzufügen. Der Gott sagte auch, dass ich vielleicht sogar die Ursache für deinen Tod war. Da es nun einmal so war, dachte ich, ich sollte. Ich habe sie in der Höhle zurückgelassen, die der Gott erwähnt hatte. 3 Tage sind vergangen und immer noch keine Nachricht. Das Warten machte mich unruhig. Ein unheilvolles Gefühl befällt mich. Es tut mir leid, meine Liebe. Verzeih mir. Du auch, Shenhe. Bitte verzeih mir. Wie dumm ich war. Wie blind. Ich möchte mich bei euch entschuldigen. Persönlich. Aua. Das, ouch. Das ist die wahre göttliche Jungfrau der Verwüstung, vermute ich.
So, Shenhe is the divine damsel? Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an adeptus, and she is about the right age. So that's why I've been getting this strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have noticed it earlier. According to this text, the divine damsel from the opera was actually the daughter of the loving couple. And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster by her own father. Oh. The truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. It wasn't her choice to enter that ghastly situation. She was forced into it. Oh. It looks like my father may need to make a few revisions to his beloved opera.
We've looked everywhere, but still no mention of Subrosium. Let's have a look over there.
Okay, wie random. Mann, Paimon, wir haben gerade übel die traurige Hintergrundgeschichte erfahren. Die Arme. Es tut mir richtig leid. Na. Ja, okay. Oder so.
This is it!
Ach, noch rechtzeitig passiert. Die im Geheimessenzerz eingravierte Magie lässt nicht so leicht nach. Achso. Manche glauben, dass dieses Gestein eine Brücke zwischen den Lebenden und den Toten ist. Essenzerz, doch, ja, ich war gerade so. Zu finden ist jedoch nicht so einfach. Du musst zur richtigen Zeit am richtigen Ort sein. Die Legende besagt, dass du Geheimessenzerz finden kannst, wenn du in der Dämmerung in der Mitte des Sees südlich des Tianheng-Bergs stehst und in Richtung der untergehenden Sonne schaust.
So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south of Mount Tianheng at dusk, and we'll find us some Sabrosium.
Ja, danke fürs
Let's
Wiederholen.
go back and tell Shenhua the news.
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired adeptess from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I couldn't bring myself to stand up to him. I just let things happen, let it all escalate. And, well, we all know how that story ended. I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to apologize to you.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way. There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But it also dampened my emotions, making me dispassionate, like the Adepti. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or not, the truth is, I feel nothing at all.
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhua, we're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhua, it brings me some solace knowing that you are okay. I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end. Shenhua, look! This tells us how to find Sabrosium. All we gotta do is go to the middle of that lake.
Let's go then.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out that many of the details in the Divine Damsel of Devastation are not true to the facts, so I'd like to change them.
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me, I cannot simply dismiss your lived experience in favor of my father's fiction.
It's okay. I like your version.
Huh?
Wie süß.
My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly become part of human society. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others, just like the girl in the opera. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think in this way.
Don't worry. I believe you will. In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be. You just haven't had the opportunity to see it for yourself yet.
Shenhua! Yunjin! Cut the chit-chat. Let's go!
Lass sie doch quatschen, Paimon.
We can't let someone else beat us to it!
Och Gott, Paimon, ey. Gut, dann hätte ich gesagt, wir holen uns dann morgen das Geheimessenzenerz. Beziehungsweise ich muss ja dann sowieso ein wenig warten auf die Uhrzeit. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet viel Spaß beim Zusehen. Und in dem Sinne, bye bye und bis zum nächsten Mal.